I'm not really sure who they think they are.
They're kind of weird. They're kind of just always there in the background. It's almost like comforting to have them here to me. I don't know.
I'm a little annoyed just because it's like a constant presence and there are so many of them, and it's dangerous.
I definitely think they're welcome at MaDEEra. I mean, I don't think it would be MaDEEra without the deer.
The deer are a part of every MaDEEra girl's life, whether they actually have face-to-face encounters with them or just see them while walking to practice. They're everywhere. So I decided to seek out some other members of the community and ask them for their stories. I quickly learned that there were more questions regarding the deer than I had previously thought.
And there are two deer just chilling on the oval. And I kind of looked out, I was like, what are they doing? I see them walking towards the main door, and then the deers keep going and going and going, and they walk up like into the main like doorway, and they just chill there, and people are like walking by and they just think it's all right to come in and treat it like it's their house. So I was like, guess they live here too.
You know, the most terrifying is when I'm walking home at night, and my head will be down, and then all of a sudden I'll hear this loud snort, and deer scatter in every direction, and I realize that I've just sort of walked into their midst.
This is my 17th year at MaDEEra, 16th year living on campus.
Have the deer been here all of your time here?
Absolutely.
I graduated from MaDEEra in 1995. Honestly, I don't recall as much of a deer presence as I do now. Perhaps I was oblivious and just don't remember them as much, but I do not recall them traipsing around the oval or being around as much.
Given the size of the campus and the proximity to the park, there probably have always been deer here. In Darwinian terms, you know, if we had some wolves or something around here, there'd be fewer deer.
Dr. Hager reminded me of the announcement at the beginning of this year that coyotes have moved onto campus. It led me to ask if the deer could be in danger.
If it is a fact that coyote perhaps eat deer, then I guess there's a possibility that deer could be in danger.
So I did my research and I found that coyotes normally like to hunt smaller animals, but they have been known to take down deer. I went around and asked various people if they thought the deer population at MaDEEra might be threatened.
It just depends on the population size of the coyotes. If they are going to take over the deer, that could be a problem, but there are a lot of deer out there, so it shouldn't be so bad of an impact.
But I think that they are doing pretty well for themselves, even with the presence of coyotes.
Do you think the deer are in any danger from the coyotes?
I hope so. But probably not.
I started to realize that most of the answers I got for all of my questions had to do with how large a population of the deer are and how unabashed they seem to be. It made me start to wonder if it had gotten to the point where the deer are actually a problem.
I remember there was one week where I was driving back from school and there were just a ton of them in the road on the driveway at MaDEEra, and so we had to wait for them to cross. And then we got to Georgetown Pike, and there were like 2 incidences where there was a deer on the road. We had to slow down, wait for it. And the thing is that when one deer is crossing, there might be other ones crossing, so you have to be really, really careful. So basically, almost died.
And she said she came within a hair's breadth of hitting a deer.
Freshman year, I almost got hit by a deer, and that was really scary.
And I like charged at it, and it just stared at me, and I got scared and ran away.
They're multiplying at a rate that I don't think it can be sustained. We assume that the typical MaDEEra student would be horrified to think that MaDEEra was sanctioning any kind of program to exterminate some of the babies.
You think that they're, like a little white-tailed deer, but it might like come and hurt you, like pound you to death, like a horse, but not.
I feel like most people are scared of the deer, which is an irrational fear because they can't bite you.
Yes.
Well, they can because they have teeth, but you know, whatever.
Finally, I asked people what they thought the future of the Madeira deer would be, and what the deer mean to the community as a whole.
I do think it's unfortunate, but I think we're likely to, this is going to be, I think, a problem that only increases, and I think at some point the school's going to have to make a conscious decision whether to do some systematic thinning of the herd.
They are just like people here.
They just become a part of the campus.
It's part of the school, and I feel like it probably always has been, and it would just be unnatural to not have them here.
Gives the campus sort of a unique feel.
I think the deer will definitely be here for a while just because they have such a happy habitat and no one really messes with them and they have everything that they need for life here, so they'll stick around for a while.
There's too many of them.
Mm-hmm.